One. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of ArmTalk. I'm your host, Jody Was, and today I got my man over here, Tim Bresnan. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Not too bad, brother. Not too bad.
So, did you get a chance to watch over the weekend East vs. West?
I watched some of the matches. I saw some of the matches. Some of them actually they were very good matches. I have to say.
What'd you think of that so far? I mean, as far as like the tournament itself or the organization.
I mean, Engen keeps changing the rules on the organization. He started out to be a semi-strict. You know, he was trying to not be WAL, but not so strict as IFA or PAL, which I agree with. But he just kept loosening up. It looks like Florida might have tightened up a little bit, but we'll have to see. I think they're decent matches from what I saw.
I'll tell you what. When you see Jerry Jannon and Johnny Walker, and I had to sit there and go, "Wow, it don't get no better than that," you know.
Oh, Johnny Walker. I mean, I met Johnny Walker. Oh my God, probably. It was the last Superstar Showdown. It was in Chehalis. I mean, so when I saw the picture, I was like, "Damn, that looks like Johnny Walker." I wasn't sure if it was him or not until I asked somebody, and then I saw later somebody had posted with Johnny Walker. So that man has hands like a gorilla. Unbelievable how big that man's hands are. Oh my God.
Really?
I mean, oh God, I shook his hand. When I saw him in Chehalis, I'd say he's probably 170, 180, very slender, tall. He's a tall man. Well, he's a little hunched over now, but he was a tall man. And I got his hand grabbed. He just like enveloped my hand. He's absolutely monster hands. I mean, I thought friggin' like Cobra had big hands, or some of the other. This guy's hands are monstrous. Yeah. He's a great guy. Like I said, we only spent a couple hours at Chehalis in that tournament. That's the only time I ever met him, but unbelievable.
Nice. Well, we have somebody in the chat. Lucky, she says, just checking in, and she wanted me to ask you about some kind of evil eye. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming you do.
So Lucky is one of my good friends' girlfriends, little Mike.
Yeah.
She kind of look when you top refereeing. A lot of times people look at you, right?
Right.
They're looking at you. They're looking at you to say go. Well, she doesn't. She looks at you, and then when you're just about ready to say go, she gives you this extra. It's like, what the hell is that? She's gonna bite me or something. First time she did it, I almost started laughing. And then what? She does it every time. Right before she could tell. Right before you're ready to say go, her eyes open up really wide. And she kind of leans forward a little bit. I said, "What the hell?" I asked her later. I said, "What the hell is that?" She said, it's fun. She's a very, very beautiful little young girl. It just cracks me up. She's a real good arm wrestler. She could pull it.
Nice.
But I laughed. Oh my God, she did that. I almost started laughing when she first did it. I'm like, what the hell was that? Because I had to say something. So, but she's better than her boyfriend, Mike. She's a lot better arm wrestler. In case she's listening.
Mike Nance.
Yes.
Yeah. They've been kind of doing their thing, going to tournaments and winning and stuff like that. So
yeah,
and I know she's on a weight loss journey. Sorry, Lucky, I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I know she's on a weight loss journey, looking better. I think she's going down to a lower weight class. So yeah, good for her.
Mike had to do the carnivore diet because of his health.
Right.
And I've got a couple other friends in Tennessee that are doing the carnivore diet. So I'm doing kind of a combination right now, just the last 3 weeks so far of kind of like Atkins, keto. And let me tell you what, I'm off half the medication I was on before.
Really?
Oh God, yeah. It's incredible.
That's good.
And my blood sugar's been around 100 points constantly. And I mean, if I knew that it was that like that years ago, I would have done this years ago.
Right.
It's tough to give up. I like ice cream, so it's tough to give up ice cream. But I'm down. I'm probably down about 12 pounds. So I'm not even trying. About 301.
Okay.
But I didn't do it to lose the weight. I did it for the health thing.
Right.
You know, I did it because I was just I got this young kid from South Tennessee. He got on, and he looks absolutely, great. He's telling me he went on, his wife went on it, and Mike Nance is telling me after a couple of months, he's basically doesn't have any more health problems.
Right.
So we got to try it. So it's true, it's definitely true. But,
all right, Tim, I'll ask you some tough questions, man, but I know you can handle it.
What am I, Trump? And you want me to, CNBC interviewing me?
No, nothing like that. But I will say this: why haven't we seen you on the East versus West? What's up with that?
I don't know. He invited me on the first one. He invited me on the third one. They haven't invited me since. I don't know. Well, I don't know. My shoulder's been pretty screwed up for the last probably 2 years.
Right.
Just got my hand back in condition. I just had all the stem cells done, so I'm just trying to get my strength back now. My fighting strength. I mean, I pulled a couple of times in the last 3 months. I pulled yesterday. I've got my technique's good. My hand's good. I don't have the side pressure I had. So I got to work my way back up, because when you get the stem cells, they don't want you doing anything for a month. I went over a month. I went like 2.5 months.
Right.
They don't want the stem cells moving out of the joint. So I'm just going to try to build it back up again and see what happens. I feel good. Yeah. It's worth it if you got the extra money, and it's worth it. Artem is taking care of the arm wrestlers. So if anybody calls him, you're gonna get a good deal, real good deal. So I probably, oh yeah, he's helping the arm wrestlers out. Anybody says they're arm wrestler, if he knows you, he's cutting you cut rate. Right. So
when can we see you on the table? I know you got that big thing in Tennessee, Lorraine's thing. Is that in December?
December. That'll probably be the first time you'll see me. We've got a tournament in Nashville with PAL with Sean. Okay. I might pull Masters there just to try to warm up, but it's really close to this to the race beast mode tournament, and that's I want to try to come back in that one. See what I do.
Okay.
We'll see. All I can say is we'll see. I don't hurt lifting anymore. I don't hurt pulling anymore. All I gotta do is build it, work it back up. So we'll see.
I know back in the day, Tennessee had this tri-state tournament. Do they still have that?
They just had it, I believe, last weekend.
Oh, okay. Did you go to it?
I did not. I took a break
or something. So
I've been traveling. I've been traveling with PAL all over the place, and I just gone to South Carolina the week before. I didn't plan on going to that because Sean wanted me to go to Florida. Mm-hmm. Then he called me. He says, "Hey, if you don't want to come, I'm all set." I'm like, "Oh, I'll stay home. I'll stay home with the wife for the weekend, do some work around here." And then the last minute, Sean called me, and then I just ended up staying home for the weekend. But Luray puts on a good show. Luray puts a good show on. Besides the fact it was like 105 degrees and it was outside, so I'm kind of glad I didn't go.
Man, you can't be outside 105. You're gonna cramp up. People gonna get heat stroke.
Well, it kind of goes back and forth down there. Like the last couple of days, it's been pretty cool, but last week was terrible. It was getting up. It was like 98 degrees with humidity bringing it up over 96, 106, 107. It was terrible. You walk outside, it was like hit you in the face. Terrible.
Oh, man. That's not good. That's not good.
Yeah, I do everything in the morning or later at night, where I send the kids out in the heat, the grandkids.
Right.
So
I know this is kind of going months and months ahead because you said PAL, and I know Sean has a tournament you've been to before. It's the North American Championships in Las Vegas. It is slated for March 8th, I believe. So March will be real busy, okay? Because I'm talking to everybody. And they're like, "Oh, yeah, you should come to this event." I'm thinking, Okay, so the first weekend of March, that's part of the Arnold. There's that, and I'll get to that in a second. Then you got March 8th. That's
Yeah,
event.
yeah. Arnold's is like right in the between February and March.
Yeah, February 28th, and it rolls into March.
Yeah, it's it's right at the end. Yeah.
So you got that. You got Winter Blast is what the 22nd, I think, of March. So
it's a weekend. It's the week after Vegas.
Yeah, and then the following month you got IFA Nationals. So you got 4 big time tournaments I would love to go to. Obviously, one you got to qualify for. But
yeah,
I'm sitting up there and I'm talking to my wife, and she's like, "Babe, you can't go to all of them." I'm like, "Yeah, it's very hard for me to kind of go." And we'll set the Arnold to the side because you can't just show up to that one. But for the other 3, I'm like going, damn, that's kind of close, man. I have a hard time doing that. Do you ever get to a point where you have a hard time picking what tournament to do?
I listen. I've gone now that I'm just refereeing a lot of them, so I go to whatever he calls me to go to. If it's back to back, I go back to back. Like I'm probably going to Vegas,
right?
And I'm definitely going because Arm Gods is going to be at Winter Blast this year.
Oh yeah, that's
so I'm pulling for Arm Gods, and all the PAL referees are refereeing Arm Gods and Winter Blast. So one of the day I'll be pulling, the other day I'll be refereeing all day. Depending if they have another 500 friggin' entries like they did last year, it's gonna be crazy.
Man, it's gonna be you're gonna at least need 2 or 3 days.
At least 2. Because they got at least 2. Because those boys, they're bringing some. I think 10 or 15 British pullers over with them to pull Winter Blast on top of the super match.
Do you have an actual match, or are you just like a tournament?
I got a match.
Oh, can you talk about who you're pulling?
I can't because I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I challenged Evan Bourget, right and left-handed.
That guy's still relevant?
No, not really. He was never really relevant. He just talks a lot. Man. But I challenged him right-handed. And he's whining. And I said, "I'll pull you left. I don't care." So,
wow.
I don't know. They wanted to they're supposed to do instead of tax this time. They're supposed to do an electrocution match for the hardcore. They're electrifying the pads. Dude, it was funny.
That stuff is so stupid to me. I'm not going to get into that because then people start getting on my case about that. And
listen, it was funny. It was everybody in the place had tacks in their shoes by the end of the night. It was absolutely hilarious. It had nothing to do with the top-notch wrestlers. It had nothing to do with frigging national titles. It was the dumbest thing you ever saw, but it was friggin' funny.
Yeah, it just takes away. When people like you and Ron Bath and RVJ on the back burner to that match, I'm like, and here's the problem, Tim. It's not that, and people want to take my words and kind of twist them because they thought, oh, you're a hater. You don't support Arm Gods. I never said that. I just said I didn't support the match. All the rest of the matches were fine. I didn't support that match, not the whole thing.
You'll never get that from Paul Maiden. No, you either if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. That's he just puts stuff. He puts matches out there, and if you like them, you like them. He's never going to bust anybody's balls, you know. But
Evan got on my show and tried to crucify me about that. So,
oh my God, Evan's a douchebag sometimes. It's just
that he is.
Evan. He can't even beat my son when he was 13. You know, he almost lost to Corey when he was like 12 or 13 years old.
Man.
You know, it was crazy. He'll tell you he won, though. Like, oh, you're proud of beating a 13-year-old. Evan's my friend, but Evan's something else. I love the longer you stay on his show, the drunker he gets, so the dumber he gets.
Yeah.
It's funny. You know, I used to love when Uncle John was on there. I used to love when Uncle John was on with him. You know, it was crazy. But
oh, yeah. So, next question about the Arnold. And I posed this question a while back in a post and you have responded. And I know, and it's about the Arnold Classic. And let's go back to where we know it was a right-handed tournament only.
Yep.
Last time I went was the last year they had the 199 and over class.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was the last time I went. So, and then you also got to know back then, once you won the Arnold, the key to that, aside from getting that Letterman jacket, was also that you get to come back whenever you wanted. You didn't have to qualify. So now that Denise and Leonard are not doing it anymore, it's under the high five guys. And so now I think your question was, what about the past winners? And so I think they responded by saying, well, what we can do is that we're not doing it now. They're doing something different. So if you win your class, then you get an automatic spot on their show in a match. You know, so what do you think about the Arnolds coming back and how they're doing it now?
Oh, how are they doing it? Nobody's answered the question. How are they doing it?
Well, I mean, they got qualifiers going. I know they had one in Arizona, not last week, but the week before last. Top 3 qualified.
Okay.
I know for me, when I went, it was top 2 to qualify. Now it's top 3. But
yeah, top 2.
Yeah, they got their own booth this time. So it's not like, hey, you got 2 hours to get whatever you can in, and then after that, you got to get off and get ready for the next sport.
Do you remember how many people were there?
At the Arnold?
300,000, 250,000.
Oh yeah.
How are you gonna stick all those people near you, even if they've got a whole triple booth? Right. I've seen some of the big booths before. Say they got the big booth like the hand strength.
Yeah.
How you're gonna have to put 150 pullers in that booth?
Well, so the year I went, they had a pit, and so they had 3 tables on stage. They had a pit, and so I was in the pit. I remember I was in the pit. Then they called my class, and I was in the pit waiting. So you had people like Christina Castro and Harold Owens going, "Hey, get ready, you're next." You need to kind of help direct traffic and stuff when Denise called your name, and so they had that. But now,
where were you before?
What's that?
Where were you before that though? Before they called you to the pit, you were sitting down in the stands, right?
Well, I didn't have a chair to sit in, so I was just standing.
So they're gonna have no place for people to sit.
Right.
They're gonna have 150 athletes at least in this one booth trying to arm wrestle. Right and left-handed.
Yeah.
Right?
Left hand too.
So you could have more than 150. You could have 200. Where are you gonna put 200 people?
Honestly, if you want my opinion, I think what they should do, and I may get yelled at. If I'm thinking about this, what they should do is go, hey, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., I want the weight class. I want this weight class here, okay?
Yeah.
And from 11:45 to 1:45, I need the next weight class. That's the only way you're going to do that is get them by weight. You got a 2-hour limit to get that one weight class done. If you got 3 tables, knock them out. That's the only way I can see this happening.
How many weight classes was there?
Oh God, they even got like a 275 class.
Okay, so say what?
So it's 54, 76, 98, 220, 242, 243, and 275. That's like what, 7 classes right there. If you go left and right, that's 14.
14.
Add the ladies too. That's
how many women's? So say it's gonna be at least 4 women's, right? 3 women's.
Yeah.
Say 3. Yeah. Say 3 women's. That's 6 more. That's 21 classes. Yeah. At 2 hours of whack, you're over 50 hours already.
Yeah.
So I heard that they talked about doing some of the matches at the hotel.
Why? Why'd you go out to the hotel for that?
This is just I heard. I was party to a conversation a couple weeks ago between somebody that actually two different organizations that are dealing with Knuckles Up.
Yep. And
there's been so many different things thrown out there, and they got a lot of things to work out. Man,
and then the super matches too.
Oh yeah, yes. That's what they said they were going to do with the past winners.
Right.
They're going to put you in a super match at the Arnolds.
Yep.
Okay, so you got to be at 60 or 70 hours right there, even at 2 hours of whack, right?
Yeah.
Conservatively.
I think they're banking on the fact that they got their own booth, that they might get through it. But I mean,
They better bring up a video of the Arnold Classic and see how packed that place is.
Yeah, I mean, when you got all those athletes there, and there's a lot of, Tim, I was there in 2019, just to, the main aisle, just to get across, it took me like 5 minutes because there's so many people there.
And the testosterone is booming.
And then you got the fans that are there too, on top of the athletes. So, I mean, like I said, just the main aisle, one of the main aisles, and me trying to go that way. I'm sitting up here doing this and bobbing and weaving, and trying to get by. Man,
That teaches you old bouncer trick. You touch when you're walking through the crowd, you touch the guy on the small of his back. Just put 2 fingers on the small of the guy's back. Right. Like, the crease in the middle of your back?
Yeah.
1 finger on each side and the small of their back. They'll goose right out of the way. It's great. Just walk around, just hit them in the small of their back, real, not heavy, just a little pressure. They'll goose right out of the way. They'll move right out of the way for you. Slip right through.
Just a little love tap, huh?
Just a little, right there, right in the middle, small of their back. You just give a little push, they'll move right out of the way. Because they don't know what's happening. And they never, no one ever touches that part of it, Just get them right there, they move right out of the way. But, man, dude, all the athletes are like 3 foot wide. You know what I mean? There's so much testosterone there. Everybody wants to fight you. If you bump into somebody, they're wanting to fight. I had this guy, listen, Ron Klemba was buying something. Right. So me and John Brown were standing off to the side. And this guy, I swear to God, he couldn't have been 5'5". He's probably about 55 years old. I'm standing still. Me and John are talking. We're standing waiting for Ron. And he slams into my back. So I turned around. I bumped. Like, what the fuck was that? And I turned around and look at him. He puffs his chest out. What the fuck, dude? I looked at John. Yeah. I was 315, 320 then. Solid, big. I looked at John. I said, he didn't just do that, did he? John's like, yeah, he did. I was like, are you kidding me? So I started laughing. And he got madder. He puffed his chest out, bro. That's John. We gotta get the fuck out of here. But that's the kind of people. It's crazy. I was talking to Bill Kazmaier at one of his booths, and he had a line about 10 miles long. Right. And we were talking probably half an hour, and they started they're froggy with him. Hey, come on, you want autographs? Go fuck yourself. Shut the fuck up. I'll get you an autograph when I'm ready. He says. I was like, dude, these are your people. I don't give a shit. He says, I don't care about them. And he back to talking. He didn't care. He had 200 people waiting to get an autograph. Oh my God, there was gonna be a riot if I said, Bill, I gotta go. There's gonna be a riot. These people are crazy. But
because you got supplement people with their booth, you got people selling fat grips and handles and all kind of stuff, and and you got all the bodybuilders and the fitness builders and the CrossFitters and the strongman, and they got all kind of stuff there. And I tell people, because I've been there before, and I tell people as a joke, I still got the fucking hotel key room. I kind of took that as a souvenir. So I'm probably not welcome back, but still, I still got that as a souvenir. They
buy those by the box. They don't care about those things. I take them every time.
Yeah, so I mean that's one of my souvenirs, aside from the team shirt you got. But I think it's good that they have the left-handers, but I'm really kind of curious, and I think what they probably should do. I'm talking about high five. Because I love what they do, by the way, because I'm telling you that they're doing things differently, which is not from everybody else, and they're not a threat to any other organization.
Yeah.
But I think what should happen, I want to get your opinion, that they should get all the people who are in charge of the qualifiers and have one big, Zoom meeting and go, hey, how are we going to make this thing work? That way they can kind of get ideas from everybody, putting them on. So, like, Tim Talmadge he's actually doing 3 of them. He did 1 already in Arizona. Yeah. He's doing 1 with Corey Miller in Colorado, and then he's doing another one in Washington. Ryan Espy's doing 1 in Manitoba, Canada. So get all the guys who are putting on qualifiers, get them on the Zoom call and go, hey, we got to make this thing work because the Arnolds will be here before you know it. What do you think about that? Yes, but I know Sean and I believe Tim have already sent up like proposals on how to run it. Right. And I don't know if
It doesn't sound like they're taking anybody's advice. It's just that place is a tough place to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My opinion is if they wanted to run like they're running it, if you go up the top of the stairs, you come in, you go down big escalator.
Yeah.
There's big fucking rooms at the top of the stairs, like rooms that we used to run national championships in.
Right.
That they used to run the fencing and somebody off sports.
Yeah.
Now if they ran a good portion, I'd say on Friday afternoon, a good portion of the freaking events go down to the final 3 in that room. Then they can go to their booth on the final day and only have 3 people in each weight class.
Gotcha.
You know, but then again, where are you going to put the people that want to watch it?
Well, that's just it. You know, yeah. I mean, it's going to be tough. I mean, you got to remember, people who never been there. Everybody in the podcast show, thanks for watching. You got to remember that the convention center is huge, but it's in the middle of downtown Columbus, Ohio, which there's not a lot of parking to begin with. So I remember we had we had a
bus,
like a bus, but it took you from the hotel to downtown. They ran every 15 minutes. I remember I did one of those things, but I mean, just trying to walk around and trying to find something to eat. It's like downtown is crowded.
Oh, forget it.
Yeah.
But did you stay at the host hotel?
I did.
Okay, so that one had the first year I went there. I didn't stay at the host hotel, and it cost us. Me and Rob Vision, his girlfriend Liz at the time, stayed there, and it cost us. I'll bet you it cost us over $100 for 2 days. Go back and forth with cabs.
Yeah, if you can get the host hotel, I mean, that's awesome because every 15, 20 minutes they'll be there. So I'm thinking, all right, that's their whole job. And the hotel wasn't close, by the way. It was across town. It wasn't close.
Yep.
So you hop on that thing, they take you down there, not a big deal, they let you off. And I got my ID pass, whatever. And that's the good thing, people, because when Tim says, and I'm saying, there's a lot of people, like we got there for day one. There was a line wrapped around the corner. That's how many people are there, like just to get in. And when you got your limited pass, say, "Hey, I'm an athlete," they kind of let you in this other area where you can kind of
you go to the other side door.
Yeah, you can go in that door, but if you were like a fan, whatever, you got to stand in that long ass line that wraps all the way around the building. That building is so huge, so there's a benefit to that. And as you get in there, you know the line wrapped around where the statue is of Arnold doing that. And once you get in, it's like, all right, cool, we can do this and we can do that. But yeah, it's rough. I guess they're gonna have some hotels maybe available inside the convention center. I'm not sure, but
really,
that might be that. They said maybe, but I know that's spendy. So
spendy. I'll bet you. I'll be talking $350, $400 a night because of the Arnolds. Well, you got 350. You got 350 people there. I mean, 350,000 people.
Yes.
You know, and so there's no hotels left in town.
You have to get it like last year for next year.
Basically. And
trying to find something to eat nearby is almost next to impossible, unless you feel like waiting. You know. And that year I was waiting outside. Went to this pizza place right across the street from it. We're standing outside. It's like, all right, and all of a sudden the clouds rolled in and fucking started to snow. I'm like, fuck, dude. So it's like, all right, you know, because again, we're talking March. You know, it's not warm in Ohio in March, okay? So it started to snow. I'm thinking, fuck this, man. But I'm already halfway in the door now. I might as well just stay the entire time and eat whatever.
Did you drive? Did you drive or did you fly?
No, I flew.
Oh, that's the worst airport. We came in. Our plane came in sideways.
Oh,
it's coming inside. The wind was so bad, our plane came in sideways. They told us later on that's like the worst, the windiest airport in the country.
Right.
I was like, holy shit. That's it. Last time I flew one time. Every other time I drove 11 hours. It's 11 hours from when I lived in Connecticut to there. It's less now. I don't think it's even half that now. I'm not sure what it is.
It might be closer from Tennessee now.
Yeah, it is. I'm sure it is. But no more flying. Not flying to that airport. That's crazy. It's an old military base.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
How many times did you win the Arnold?
I won once. I won once, and I top 3 probably 4 times in the top 3.
Right.
The year that Underwood beat me, I hurt my freaking arm, I hurt my shoulder. Mm-hmm. I took 4th. I went up to him, I said, listen, just put me down. I said, I can't fight no more. My shoulder's shot. I took 4th place. I think I finished. I don't think I finished, but once or twice out of the top 3.
Right. What year was it? And I think it was 2012. But correct me. It was you, Chafee, Michael Todd, Dennis Plinkoff. Y'all were all in that. Richard Lupke's. Y'all were all in that one class, and I was like, and you got to remember, it's 199 and over. So if y'all ask was 210, guess what? you're pulling the big boys, and that. Woo! Tell me about that day.
I finished. I think I pulled. I think I took 4th that day, right? Because it was Dennis, Mike, Chafee, and I think I finished 4th.
Right.
The worst part. How would you like to beat John Bresnan and not win? The year before.
We'll get to that in a second too.
the couple years before that, I beat John Bresnan. I smoked John, and I took 2nd place. Lupke's won it. Right. John took 3rd. I took 2nd. Like that's my buddy's like, how do you fucking beat John Bresnan and lose not who take 1st? Like that's the way it is. Richard got to be one of the strongest men in professional arm wrestling ever. Because we did 2 days.
If he had a team working with him,
if he had one top-notch technical arm wrestler, I don't care how big the guy was, to show like I had Ron Cleveland, real technical. One. I showed him one thing one time. He wouldn't start whooping everybody's ass. I'm like, that's the last time I teach you anything. Why? I'm like, fuck you. I got to pull you. So I ain't teach you nothing no more. So go back the way you were pulling before. Oh my God. We pulled 2 days. He won the Arnold's that year. So we had to go to the booth. They had a booth around the corner to get our checks. I go around the corner. He's got a Thomas Inch dumbbell. He's bent over doing freaking curls with.
And just so everybody knows, that thing is not easy to pick up.
190 pounds. 190 pounds with a 2-inch handle.
Yes.
He was doing curls with it. I looked at him. I said, dude, I love you, but you're an asshole. I said, I can't even. I blew all the blood vessels in my arm. I hit him so hard he didn't move. I top rolled him and we slipped. I'm like, oh, I might have a chance with him. I might get him. And then we got strapped up really tight. I hit right into his palm. I was black and blue. My whole arm was black and blue. I blew every blood vessel in the dermal layer of my arm. Ooh, I go around the corner. He's doing freaking curls with a Thomas Inch dumbbell. I said, dude, you're an asshole. I said, I love you, but get the fuck away from me. I said, that's crazy. He looked up at me and smiled. I'm like, oh my God, the fuck, man. That's just, the guy's just pure power, pure power. Oh.
I like the story. Hey, this might be a show with Tim Bresnan stories. I hope y'all don't mind the chat. Ryan
usually is.
But tell a story. And this was back when John Bresnan was in his prime. Okay, I don't know how the guys had many primes, but this is one of the times he had primes. And it was the USA Nationals in Lake Tahoe, and you had beat him. And yep. I think Pete Milano said something like, he like, tell that story.
Well, that was my first year pulling. That was my first year after I broke my arm. So that was really my first full year of pulling. So I went to Lake Tahoe. I didn't know who anybody was.
Right.
John pulled, I think he pulled the 220s and the super heavyweights. But he was always over the short weight class.
Yeah.
Because they always let him in. Zloty, me and freaking Christian Benny weighed in after him, and the scale was exactly 8 pounds off, and that's what John made it 209. Really, John? Really? Anyway, so I pulled John. I beat John, and my buddy Pete Milano calls me. He says, "How you doing?" I said, "I'm in the A side." He said, who'd you beat? And I named off a couple guys. So I beat some guy named John Bresnan. He said, who was it? I don't know. John Bresnan? He said, John Bresnan? I said, yeah. He said, you didn't beat John Bresnan. I'm like, yeah, I did. He's like, no fucking way. I'm like, dude, I just beat him. He's like, he hung up on me. He called Gary Roberts, who was standing like 2 feet from me. He calls back and said, you beat him? I'm like, yeah, so? He's like, the dude's like the best in the world. I'm like, he is? I said, I'm glad I didn't know at the time. I'm glad I didn't know, man. Like, it would have sucked. I probably wouldn't have won if I'd known he was that good, you know? I would have been so nervous.
Right.
And I was out for the next 2 years with John. I was referred to as that guy. He would never say Tim Bresnan or that guy. John's not a real forward dude. He's a great guy, but he's not a real forward guy. He seems stuck up because he won't talk to a lot of people.
Right.
Once you get to know him, he's great. He talk to you. He talk to you forever. But I was that guy. He did an interview later. It was like, yeah, that guy did this. That guy did that. I'm like, that guy? Who the fuck is that guy? I must be that guy. But that was good.
3 matches to me that stick out to me referring to you. And I ain't talking about Rustam and then the elbow foul city one. I'm not talking about that.
Oh my God. That was crazy.
Yeah. And then had the audacity to have the same goddamn referee the second time y'all pulled.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. No.
They changed it?
No, they fired him. They never used it. That guy was from Serbia. They never used him again after that. Me and Igor sat down with like a 65-inch screen and we're looking going, where was that foul, John? Where was that foul? He goes, oh shit. Because he was calling the same on Rustam. He called fouls on Rustam that weren't there. So it's just the first one that got that he called the fouls on. Neither one of us were elbow fouling. I mean, we might have fouled a couple times, but like 12 times each? Come on.
That's crazy.
No, they used he's a Russian. I can't pronounce his name. Marukazov? No. Maruk. This guy's a Russian ref. Him and his wife referee. They're IFA referees. I love this guy. Great referee. He'll tell you, hey, you just be careful doing this, be careful doing that. You know, if you get close to fouling and one match before, he's great referee. Markazov?
Yeah.
I can't remember his name now. But he says
something like that.
Yeah, his wife referees with him. Great referee. He did the one in China.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, definitely no. They wouldn't use they. But East Roses West uses that Serbian referee.
Oh boy, I thought he looked familiar.
Listen, he's a great. I hate to do that. He's a great guy. He's a really nice guy. But God, he moves his when he's getting ready to say go. He moves his fingers. He goes like this. So you're like, well, what the fuck are you doing? You don't move your fingers. I'm waiting for that movement for it to go. And he's like, of course I'm going to elbow fall.
When the ref is doing this, it triggers the pullers. Like, okay, if I feel movement, I'm going to go.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. He always moves his fingers. And I see him in Zloty. He did one year. He didn't close Christian's thumb on a ref grip. He just closed. I have no idea. He forgot. He apologized later. He forgot. I got an argument with the head referee right in front of the head referee, the guy from England. Can't remember Dave, I think his name is.
Right.
Right in front of him, I called Leonard Harkless at 2 a.m. Leonard, what's up with that guy never liked me after that. Because he doesn't like Leonard because Leonard was head referee for WAF.
Right.
He thought he should be. So he didn't like Leonard. I called Leonard first right there.
I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole about how Leonard got treated and all that kind of stuff. And then that's how we got the split. I've said too much about that. Well,
the split wasn't over Leonard.
No.
The split started over Herpa. When Igor was doing the ranking system, there was money involved. If it would have shot off, there would have been a lot of money.
Right.
So the kings of the WAF told Igor they wanted the money. They wanted some money. And Igor was like, no. Like, Igor, listen, Igor used to pay for a lot of stuff with the WAF Worlds out of his own pocket.
Yeah.
He paid for like the last Polish WAF that he did. He paid for the whole thing.
Well,
he trains the whole.
And then WAF took. So here it is. So I forgot what year it was, but I know we United before they split. We were granted the Worlds in 2015, and then they took it away from us. And I can't remember what year Poland had it, and they took it away from them. And I'm like,
next year, very next year.
Okay,
the next year, yeah.
I can't get over that. Like, to me, yes, it's always good to kind of, different countries, but when you stay in a small area, no, we're going to have it here. And, we all got to make that trip over there, and you got to go through these hoops. And I understand we still got some of our Americans that go over there. And, when people ask me, where do I sit at? I was like, I went to IFA Worlds. Now, granted, it was coming off the pandemic, and I still get flack for it because I went there and, I pulled the Masters and took second. And for me, it was cool because I got to be on the podium. Got the American flag draped around my, I lost to a guy from Brazil who lives in the States, but he's originally from Brazil. And I understand the situation because there were Canadians there. There was Kazakhstanians there. Mexico was there. A few guys from Korea. They were there, but you got to remember that year, 2021, a lot of people couldn't leave their country because of the pandemic. So now it's getting better. But, I think it's only a matter of time before in my opinion, that you can overlap. But I will say this, though. I'm hoping at some point you, IFA, would say, okay, now that we got established and we got a few years behind us, now we got to start going, okay, top 2 in every class qualifies for Worlds. What's your thoughts?
They still don't qualify for the World. There's no qualification for the Worlds? You don't have to win Nationals?
No, you just show up at Nationals and you're already on Team USA.
Well, so I don't ever think with WAF, there was never a year that I didn't want to go. I just couldn't just make a phone call.
Right.
The last year when I went to Italy, both me and Ron Clem, I just made a phone call. Hey, I want to go. What do you want to vote? Well, what's open? Oh, there's like half the classes are open. They never fill. They never fill all the spots. The first year I good.
You almost got in a fight with that one guy.
That was in Italy. That was in Italy. That was you fucked
that was at George Stash, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. He's Hungarian, isn't he?
Yeah, he got yanked you across the table and you fucking yanked him back. And
well, I hurt my arm earlier that day with Earl Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
I tore up my brachialis. I mean, my arm was sore. So he pulled me the first time. I said, I don't mind you, Justin, and whatever you got. I said, please, just don't pull my arm before the match. And he yanked that thing in my arm like, oh, you piece of shit. I pulled him up over the table. If Leonard hadn't been there, I cocked my left arm back. I mean, I was about ready to lace him, and Leonard grabs my elbow. So I couldn't. I'm like, let go of my arm, let go of my arm. The whole Hungarian team rushed the stage.
Right.
The whole team. And I'm like, oh, shit, where are the Americans? 5 Americans came down. The rest of them stayed up in the stands.
No, they're too busy watching, and here's the thing. You got to remember, when you yanked them across, you guys were still strapped up.
Yep.
So imagine that. Your arm's already jacked up from a previous match you had. And, I remember, because Gary Roberts had the footage on there, and I watch it. And,
you don't watch his. Watch ArmSport videos. You get to see the real show. What really happened. Okay. Gary edited that, so it made me look like an asshole.
What?
Look at ArmSport video, gave the whole thing, and you can see what really happened.
So everybody in the chat, go watch Scott McGinnis ArmSports video. Put in 2009 WAF World Championships, and you'll see it there.
Well, the Canadians are the ones that the Canadians rushed the stage. The Canadians all rushed the stage. The whole Canadian team rushed the stage. The American team stayed up in the stands. They're too afraid to come down. I had 5 Americans there. I said to the captain of the Canadian team, I said, dude, get Earl Wilson. He said, get him. What do you mean get him? He says he's standing in front of the stage drooling to get up here to kill somebody. That dude, Earl's a bad man. Earl Wilson is one badass man. He is freaking
I had him on my show a few weeks ago, and I'm telling you, that guy is just compact. And I got a chance to pull him for the first time as a 90% Ryan Grondin says, who is Tim Bresnan? Does he arm wrestle? My first time pulling Earl, I went to an event up in Manitoba, Canada. It was last October, and his daughter Sarah had a match with Gabby from Brazil. So
I don't think I've ever met his daughter.
What's that?
I don't think I've ever met his daughter.
Oh yeah, Sarah. Oh yeah, she's like one of the best up in Canada. Well,
actually,
one of the best in North America. And,
really?
Yeah. So I'm thinking, all right, cool. I know Earl's going to be there because he's going to be in her corner. Not knowing that Earl's going to put his name in the hat for the tournament. He's in my class. I'm thinking, I get to pull Earl, and I quickly realized why that guy's a multi-time, national champion, world champion. Yeah, that guy. Hand and fingers are so strong.
Don't get him mad.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
He'll break his own arm. If you piss him off, he'll break his own arm to win. He's crazy. When I pulled him for
is that UAF belt, whatever?
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember the name of it now. My brain's fucked up. So I beat him the first two, and everybody's yelling, get all pumped up. I'm like, shut up. Don't get all pumped up. Stay calm, dude.
Right.
You get pumped up, it's going to be harder and harder. The matter you get, he'll throw the whole table over. He's crazy. Earl's great. Earl's a great guy. Earl's a great guy. But that's one dude you don't piss off when you arm wrestle because you won't win. He'll break his own arm to win. He will. He'll snap his own arm. He's crazy. But
speaking of Earl Wilson and you and competing in Canada, was he the down ref when you pulled Devin Laird up there at that?
He was. We were just watching that yesterday.
Where how many restarts do you need to get Devin that year? And I'm like going, what the hell, man?
So I pinned him the first one. I double fouled out the second one. I pinned him the third one. I double fouled out the third one. Now, every time my elbow come off the back of the pad, I was pinning him.
Mm-hmm.
And he was, if you watch Devin, as soon as I get close to pinning him, he starts shoving my elbow. If one time they would have seen what they should have seen. I'm not saying they cheated. I don't believe either one of them. I don't believe either one of them referees would have cheated. I absolutely do not believe that. I believe they didn't see what they should have saw. And we watched it yesterday. You can watch right as soon as I was just about to pin him, you see Devin change angles with his shoulders and start pushing me off the back of the pad. Yeah. Yep. So only needed one of those fouls not to get called, and I would have been number one in the world. Just one out of four, and I would have been champion. That was great. It was a great match. I can never, like I said, I don't believe either one of those guys, either one of them would have screwed me.
Right.
I have no doubt in my mind they did not. They made a bad call. Yeah, I don't believe they screwed me. Both of them. Dave Campbell is a great referee. Earl's a great guy. Earl personally would not do that, something like that.
Right.
That's just my opinion. I believe they didn't call it correctly, but they did it on purpose. Right. So great match. I mean, that was fun. I made fourth. I took fourth in the world for a year. I was almost a year fourth in the world.
So tell us, how many times do you go to Worlds?
Twice.
So you went in 2009 in Italy, and then what was the other? You didn't go to any ones that were here in the States?
No.
Okay.
05 in Tokyo.
Oh, okay. How'd you do it in Tokyo?
I won one. I won Masters, and I placed fourth in Open.
Okay.
So you had you remember August Schmizzle? We were talking about this yesterday. Nobody remembers August Schmizzle. Guy was
vaguely I do.
Yeah, he's like 6'7", probably 350 pounds, maybe 8% body fat.
You can't miss him.
Oh, he's a bear. He's an absolute monster, and a face that would scare a toddler.
Yeah.
Great guy. Absolutely, definitely enhanced. So the way they picked you, if you're going to get tested, they had cards all laid out on the table. By the time the super heavyweights left, there's only a couple cards left.
Right.
And the guy that was behind the cards, he looks at Schmizzle, looks to the side of the table, And that's where August picks up his card. Of course, it was blank. Ryan Espy picks up the control card on left night. August Schmizzle and Ryan left-handed. Ryan gets tested. Next night, same thing next day. August 1st, Ryan 2nd. Same thing. Guy behind the table looks to the side of the table. That's where August picks up his card. Who do you think they tested 2 days in a row?
Espy.
Ryan Espy. They only had 5 tests. Why would you test the same guy 2 days? He ain't all jacked up on juice as from last night, dude. And if he is, it ain't doing him no good. You know? What do you think he did? Juice himself up right after the test? They tested 2 nights in a row. They tested him. Really? Why would you not just say?
Did you hear Ryan's story about the year he went to Worlds and the top 3 was him, Pushkar, and Marcio Barboza?
What year was that?
What year was that? I can't remember, but they got done. They were top 3, and all of a sudden, there's a card there. I guess it was like I think he said it was like a red ball underneath one of the cups or whatever, or a card or something like that.
The cards they're like playing cards. They had a C on. If you got the C, you got tested.
Yeah. So I guess Ryan was saying they were trying to pop Marcio, and so Ryan would pick one, and they were kind of hinting like, "Hey, pick this one."
They do that. Absolutely.
Grab the other one, and so Pushkar ended up getting tested because they were trying to pop Marcio. That's what Espy was saying. I was like, "Wow."
Yeah, but I think, tell you the truth, I pulled Pushkar in Italy, or did I not pull him? I don't know. We didn't pull because I hurt my arm. I ended up giving it to him because my arm was fucking jacked. Seeing Pushkar at Worlds and seeing Pushkar at a super match is like seeing 2 different men.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All they got to do is 6 or 8 weeks before stop juicing. As long as they're not taking like Deca or something like that, they just got 6 or 8 weeks, or they take water base or alcohol base, right. And it's out of your system in 5 weeks, 4 weeks. But the difference in his size was immense. You know what I mean? When he pulled for Igor, he was definitely enhanced. Big.
It gets me. Do you think, your opinion, do you think once you reach a certain elite status that you have to be enhanced in order to compete? Not so much win, but to compete.
No. It helps. It definitely helps.
Right.
But you don't have to be. You're probably not you're not gonna beat Levon.
Right.
So I'll probably get myself in trouble on this one. Look at Devin. Look how big Devin was when he pulled Levon. Now 6 months later, now look at Devin yesterday.
When he pulled Chan Shaw, yeah, totally different person.
Totally about probably a 50 or 60 pound difference in 3 months, 4 months.
Right.
Absolutely, totally different person. So I mean, you can't. You're not gonna. I couldn't touch freaking Levon. I couldn't. That's why I tell all these people, they're not gonna beat him. Everybody's like, we'll beat him. I'm telling you, dude, you never grabbed no man like that before in your life. Hermes did well with him. I've heard different stories why. The story I called him the day after to see how he was, and he said he couldn't breathe. I said, well, you did the right thing. If you can't breathe, you're too big. You're too big not to have air in your body. You'll die.
During the top 8, didn't y'all go on like a field trip? Y'all had to go up this hill, and he was struggling to get up the hill.
Yeah, we almost had to set a card on the bottom of the hill after him. I was up the hill. I'm fucking 55, 54 years old. I'm up the top of the hill with the boys. We're in a little cabana, that's on the side. We went down to see the orangutans in the wild. Yeah. Went to this big park that had the orangutans. They were feeding them. So we go down. I mean, this hill was monstrous. Of course, they parked up the top. So we're all up top waiting for him, and he ain't showing up. I bet you we waited 20 minutes, and then he come up. He was tan. I thought he got a heart attack. They almost sent the car down for him, but he was 410 pounds or 405 pounds. He was huge,
right?
Absolutely monstrous. He was just incredible. And listen, I gotta give him this part. There was no air in the forest. You could taste the water as you were breathing. I mean, like, it was like you were sucking water in as you were breathing. It was that humid in the rainforest. It was terrible. You could see the air.
Well, you tell people, bigger doesn't always mean better, depending
No.
on who you are. I mean, you get that big, that's a lot of stress on your heart. That's a lot of stress on your organs. You're not made to carry that much weight. And sometimes, some people kind of go overboard. Do you agree or disagree?
Oh God, yes, definitely. I probably felt my best when I was right around between 290 and 300.
Right.
I dropped a lot of weight right before I pulled Prutnik. I've been diabetic for a few years, but they hadn't put me on insulin.
Right.
They hadn't put me on insulin yet, and my receptors were closed up, so I wasn't intaking protein. Mm. So I was eating enough to make you puke. I was eating like 10 meals a day. I couldn't gain any weight. I kept dropping weight. I got down like 280 something, 282, 279 pounds.
Right.
I was strong as fuck. I mean, I was lifting. I just wasn't putting on any weight.
Right.
I feel good through 290 and 300. That's right. I feel most the best. So
when people come back to the sport and when they take a long layoff, and I'm only saying that because we'll bring up Travis Bajan for a second, right? And when he first got back, he had that match with Derek Smith, right hand at the Challenger Series. He won, and then the majority of the whole world said, "Oh, Travis is back." He got in there against what's his name, and lost 3-0 right-handed, right? Kalichenko, and lost to him, and then it was like, okay, well, hey, before football season kicks in, he'll be watching his son play. Then it was like, hey, you know what? What if it's a left-hand match? Cool. He got Corey West, and then Corey kind of, mowed through him. Spoiler alert, people who didn't see the event. But Corey kind of mowed through him. So now Travis has been on the last couple, big-time events and has taken losses with either arm. What do you think? Do you think sometimes it's a table rust or is it lack of training? What do you think?
Oh, both. It's definitely both. I mean, Travis is near. I mean, and when Travis was at his top, there was nobody going to beat him left-handed. Nobody was going to beat him left-handed. He had a chance, right? But nobody beat him left-handed. But he picked some badass boy. That Corey West is a big man.
Yes.
Corey West is huge, and he's got a good left hand. So I mean,
because the winner, because when that match happened, and they had it set up to where the winner of that one will take on Cody Merritt at some point, right? So, Cody's. I'm sure he was watching that kind of stuff. He's kind of going, okay, I know what I'm up against. Now, I seen Corey West and Cody Merritt go at it last year at the World Series of Arm Wrestling Finals in San Diego. Because it was filmed. I'm not going to say too much about it, but I was like, wow. So it won't be their first rodeo because they pulled at the Monster Factory earlier last year. So I mean, they've had some matches before, and I can't wait till this one comes up again. I think this will be for the left-hand #1 guy in North America once that match gets set up and everything. But
are they 1-2 now?
What's that?
Are they 1-2 left-handed right now?
I believe so.
That's
yeah, I think so. I mean, if you put Devin up there, I mean, he fluctuates in weights. I don't know what's, I don't know. But I think those guys are 1-2.
Devin was #1 when he was before he went big again, but now he's going back to the smaller weight class. It's hard to hold. I mean, he's not that big of a man to hold 290 pounds. He's 230, 240. That's what he usually runs at.
Right. I mean, his frame is not, like I even thought, because I'm at the scale at 235, and I'm like, okay, I feel strong, but I noticed that, I'll gasp for, breath from time to time, and I need to drop. And like I said, health reasons, because you said yourself, yeah, well, when I went on this diet, I cut down a bunch of medications. I'm not there yet, but you can feel yourself like, why am I sucking wind so hard when I normally don't do this? And it's because, little by little, you gain a little bit of weight and stuff. It's like, okay, I need to get a grasp on this, So, yeah, I think after my match coming up, which you and I will probably talk after this show's over, so I can get some more expertise. But after this match coming up, I might just say, you know what, just for health reasons, I need to break it. I need to bring it down again. So,
well, if you don't want to go like through the carnivore diet, which I didn't think I've been trying to get my wife for months to go on this diet. Finally, a couple weeks ago, I'm like, that's it. I'm going on Monday. I'm going on it. Done. I'll go on it with you. I said, I don't care if you go on now. I'm going on it. Whether you go on it, I'm going on it. And she jumped on and she's doing the same thing. She's losing weight. The keto diet is not hard. You get. They allow 40 carbs. I cut it down to 20. We only allow 20 carbs. Sean and his girl are on it down in Mississippi. Mike is on it, and his girl, Lucky. Mm-hmm. Cody, I can't think of his last name. Cody, South Tennessee, his and his wife are on it. Some of them are on the keto, some of them are on the carnivore. I didn't think my wife could do the carnivore.
Right.
Which it's strictly nothing. Which I mean, it's good. They said. I mean, I'm down to shit. I'm down to hardly anything anymore. My friggin' blood sugar is the best it's ever been. So if that's all it takes, rather than take them friggin' pills.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid that. And I think there was a moment where for like 3 years, I'd always maintain between 220 and 225. Because then in my mind, I was like, okay, watch what I eat, how much I eat, and when do I eat? Like, it doesn't make sense to be fucking eating at fucking 9 o'clock at night when my body's pretty much on shutdown mode, right? So
could be, yeah.
A certain time where I didn't eat after a certain time. My portion control. Hell, if I'm full, fuck it, box it up. If I'm at a restaurant, eat it for like, the next day or later or whatever, But over time, because not a lot of tournaments offer the 220 class, and I just said, well, screw it. I'm gonna be in the 242 class anyway. F it, I'll go to 235 or whatever. And so that's pretty much where I'm at now. And
if I was you, I'd stay right about that weight because you're close to 242.
Yeah.
Doesn't IFA's 231, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it puts you within a couple of pounds of catching the 231. It gets you close to the 242, so you're not way out of whack.
Right.
I mean, I would stay right where you are. I mean, you can put a little bit of weight on, and you can take a little bit of weight off to catch whatever you have to catch. I mean,
well, one of the things I was trying to, contemplating because the Arnold qualifier has a 220 class, and I'm thinking, all right, I mean, if I really push it, because the one I'm going to is in December. All right, cool, no big. It's December 14th. All right, Washington State, one state north of me. And I might go, okay, well, you know what? I could probably make that happen. Here's the problem, though. The finals of the World Series of Arm Wrestling is the month before. And if I go down to 220 for the Arnold qualifier, I'm still in that 239 class at Greg's event because his next class down is 209.
So
big, gap.
So how long you got between? A month?
A month.
So if you're gonna do something like that, though, I would do the shitty cut to qualify, like Todd Hutchins used to do. He'd water cut. He'd cut, and then he'd end up pulling a weight. He'd actually pull a slight weight class, but be heavier than the next weight class up. With WAL, he'd pull a 225. He'd make the 195 class.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know if I can do that to myself. That's nuts.
No, he looked like in New Orleans when I was sitting with Sue Fisher. Yeah. We were signing in the women. He walked in and he was not looking good, and he missed weight. He come back like an hour later before we closed. He missed weight again.
Damn.
So now, and he's only missing it by a quarter pound, half a pound. So the next day he weighed in, he made it. They just about had to carry him in the next day. He was like nothing like that. The only time Todd don't do good is when he does shit like that. Like when Rustam beat him in Zloty.
Mm-hmm.
He was cutting up until like that morning or the night before. They made him cut right up to the end to cut. I mean, I don't know what he cut down to, but that's the only time he does bad is when he cuts weight like that. When he's allowed to do weight whatever the fuck he wants, that's a boy you don't want to, you don't want to lock up with. But
so, why do you think people sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes some people, why do you think they wait till the last minute to go, okay, I'm gonna cut this? Because now, you're in the no man's land, and newsflash people, you can gain weight when you're in the airplane. So there's always that. Why do people wait till the last minute to cut weight?
I don't know. I never cut weight. I never cut weight for anything in my life. So, I used to travel with Clem, but Clem used to always he'd cut 10 pounds. He had it down pat. He could do it the last. But as long as you're weighing in the day before,
yeah,
it puts you all right. Like the kid from Slovakia that used to train with us,
yeah,
Martin Roman, he qualified overseas in the 95 class, the 99, the 199, under 199 class for Arnold's, whatever the one under that super heavyweight was. And by the time he was with us, he was 225, 230 or heavier. He was big.
right.
So we drove all the way out there. He'd been cutting for a week. He weighed in at whatever he weighed in, like a pound light. And he ate 2 steak dinners. Then we went back to the meeting. We went back and ate 2 more steak dinners. Hit the store, got Pedialyte. By the time he pulled, he's probably 210, 211. By the time he pulled the second day, he was in his 220s already. Yeah. So from 190, 198, 197, whatever it was. So he went right back to his normal weight within a day and a half. So he was close to it this first day. Why don't you do it right? But I don't know.
I can't do that. I was never a wrestler like in high school. So, I tried to cut weight one year at Nationals, 2012. And it was at the Biltmore, I was walking around about 205, so I would cut to 198, not a big deal. And my teammate got in my ear, was like, "Oh, go to the next weight class down," because at Nationals and Worlds, it was every 11 pounds basically. So I'm like, all right, go to 187, cool, no big deal. And that week leading up to it, all I ate was salad. I don't care if it was fruit salad, regular salad. That's all I fucking ate and drank water. Miserable because I had no flavor. I was losing my mind, whatever. So we hop in the car. It's about where I'm at in Bend, Oregon. It's about a 6-hour drive from here to Reno. So we hop in the car. We're rolling. Every once in a while, we stop, bathroom break. We're drinking a bunch of water, chewing gum, spitting out the window, whatever. We carried my friend's scale in the back of the truck. We go ahead and weigh in. Damn, I'm like 5 pounds. I'm 5 pounds away. We're almost there. We get there. Funny story. We're at Harris Casino in Reno. So we get there, in the registration for our room and stuff. And it's a sunny day. It's warm. And all of a sudden, like, I thought the sun was behind a cloud, right? Fuck, it got cold real quick. And all of a sudden, I turn around and it's fucking Richard Blepke's fucking just blocking the window and shit. And it's just like, that's how big that guy is. Shook his hand. My hand got lost in his paw, whatever. But getting back to the story, I'm going to the sauna. I'm going to the steam room. I'm trying to sit there and cut weight. And next thing you know, I'm thinking, I think I did enough. Cool. I go back down to registration and I hop on there. You got to know, ain't no clothing allowance when it comes to Nationals and Worlds, right? So, Tim, I'm like 2 ounces over. Like, seriously, 2 ounces over. I'm like, damn, now what? He goes, well, if you can hurry up because registration closes in 10 minutes. And say, if you can, rush up to your floor and probably sit like a 5 and rush back down.
Did you get naked?
Yeah. So I'm behind a curtain. And the guy said, you can take off your wedding ring, drop your trowel, and then see what happens. So my 2 teammates kind of make this big wall right here, so no one can see me. And lo and behold, I make the weight, right? Cool. 187 on the dot. Cool. I get dressed. I'm like, let's go to the food court. So we all go upstairs. And this was back when they still had Quiznos, right? So I gave me a roast beef sandwich, a foot long, and got the biggest Dr. Pepper. I took maybe a couple bites of that sandwich, and I was so full because my stomach has shrunk, and I'm just like, how I thought I was gonna die. So the next day was the competition, and I felt light and I felt ready to go, but I had no power. So the moral of the story is, if I'm gonna cut weight, I got to know ahead of time. So the 2017 Nationals, this was let's see, Frank and Karen Bean were weighing everybody in. All right. And I remember January 1 that year, 2017, I was at 240. I'd never been over 240. That's probably the heaviest I've ever been. I don't want to be that heavy anymore. I'm like almost there. But I said, all right, I want to make the 220 class. So by April, I got about 3-4 months to do this. I got in there. I waited at 216. But because, see, I knew that I needed to make that weight, not do it a week before. I just did it increments, months at a time. So that's just me. I can't do it like those other people do,
So you'd have been better with steak than salad.
Yeah.
That's all Clem eats when he's cutting weight, steak. You don't gain weight with steak. You don't gain any weight with steak. It's all protein. There's no carbohydrates. That's why the carnivore diet. And don't go in the sauna. Go in the hot tub.
Yeah. Oh, I was hating life, Tim. It was the worst experience ever. And all I kept saying to myself is, how do these arm wrestlers do this? How do those UFC fighters do all that? I don't get that. I don't.
I watched Clemens shed 6 pounds in 45 minutes in a hot tub. In a hot tub. Laying in a friggin' hot tub. I swear to God. Somebody said that, go in the hot tub. I'm like, I'm fucking gonna lose weight in a hot tub. Clem was like 6 pounds over for WAL in New Orleans. Then we go up on the roof, sit in the hot tub. He stayed in there for probably 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Went downstairs and he fucking clipped the weight right on the button.
It's one thing if you got guys in there you're shooting the breeze with, because that time goes by quick. But if you're by yourself, man, you are miserable. And then
but you don't feel the heat in the hot tub. It's hot. It's just as hot as going in a sauna. But because you're in the water, you don't feel the heat like you do in a sauna. Yeah. So you're losing the same weight that you're in the sauna, but you don't feel it. It's not as taxing on your body. I couldn't believe it. That's the first time I've seen that work like that. He lost like 5.5 or 6 pounds. It was crazy.
Almost passed out in the sauna.
Yeah, see, but in the hot tub you don't though, because the water cools you as it heats you up. It's just like a steam generator.
Right.
The same thing.
No. It's the steam room almost passed out because you're in there and all the condensation and and all of a sudden all the water and sweat, and I went to come out there and all that air, that natural air hit me and it felt good. I almost fucking passed out. Like I don't want to do that.
Pull it whatever weight you're at. That's what I say. You keep your strength, keep it up. You going to World Series arm wrestling in Nevada?
No, it's in San Diego in November.
San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we might be going to that.
You should.
I qualified because I refereed.
Right.
I don't think I'll be ready. I really, truthfully, don't think I'll be ready. But
I mean, who's your class? Obviously, there's Corey West. I think Travis is going. Don Underwood's going. Paul Cruz is going. I'm sure Cody Merritt will be there. So they got some.
Yeah, I pulled a little bit with Don. I couldn't roll his wrist. I couldn't roll his wrist off a dead stop. So I mean, I'm not there yet. Right. I got too much time off and all the work into my shoulder because my fucked up. My shoulder's been bad for a year now, or a year and a half. But hoping for December. We'll see. Christ, you got to see my kid. My kid went from 290, 300. He's sitting at about 230 right now.
Corey?
Jack. Yeah.
Oh, you got to see a picture of that, man. You got to.
Jack. He is hard. Scary. His chest and his arms and his shoulders didn't get any smaller. It's just his waist. He lost.
He's on that carnivore too with y'all?
But he's on the carnivore now, yeah. But he wasn't. He just because of the food truck, it's so hot. The air conditioner food truck doesn't work. It doesn't do anything because you got the fucking grill going. He's in the food truck all day long at 100 degrees, and it's just not. He wasn't eating right for a while. He just lost the weight. But he was doing. I think he did. I think we did it. He did like a 330-pound bench the other day for set. I think he did I think he's just shy of a 800-pound deadlift at 230 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I work out with him. He's doing another job right now. He's got a bill he's got to pay, but so we haven't really been to the gym at night yet for the last week or so. But when kid works all hard. You know, he's curling like friggin' 90-pound dumbbells. It's crazy.
Ooh.
Crazy.
Okay, so here we go. Bench press. Now, I know the answer. I want the chat to understand this because there's no one specific way to work out, train, right? And everyone's doing the side pressure stuff with the bands or the pulley and stuff like that. And some people say the bench press has no carryover. But if you saw Jerry Cataret's match, that's all he fucking does is bench press, and you saw what happened, right? Can you tell everybody in the chat how important bench press can be for your chest area to get that side pressure going?
Side pressure is all pec and tricep.
Yep.
So how do you work your pec and your tricep? Bench press, pec deck. I didn't do a lot of benching for years. And then Igor Mazarenko asked me, I'm like, nah, fuck that, don't do anything. He's like, what do you mean don't do anything? Then we started going over that. Where do you get your side? I didn't have a whole lot of side pressure. Took side pressure.
Right.
And then we started going over the anatomy and like, oh shit. I guess bench press, pec deck, anything to do with your chest and your tricep. That's all you're gonna. Corey West, bench presser.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Cataret, bench presser. You know, I mean, all these top guys that have really solid freaking side pressure, all bench press. Yeah. So, and I don't do. My son does bicycle tubes instead of bands. He does uses bicycle tube. Pete Milano got him into it because they change.
Old school.
They change. Well, they change. They don't stay consistent weight. They're different as you pull them. They kind of change tension as you pull them. It's weird. The bicycle tubes.
Oh, okay.
So he switched to the bicycle tubes instead. I got one of the heaviest bands made. Guy from Russia sent me.
Yeah.
I got one of the, it's got to be a 1/4 of an inch thick, 3/8 of an inch thick. It's huge. I'm afraid. Listen, I'm paranoid about band. I don't want to be a friggin' YouTube special when that band pops off and smashes me in the side of the head. So I've never been a real fan of bands. Right. I use but I mean, right now, my biggest problem right now is my side pressure.
Right.
I mean, I was working out yesterday and I got my hand right and I got my position right, and I don't have the side pressure that I had before. You know, I was never like.
Get rid of my bench press because I had too many shoulder issues. It's my right shoulder. So when I would bench, it'd be like this, you know, where this should go up, but then this would finally catch up.
Switch. So, of course, my left arm is at half the size of my right.
Right.
I stopped working. I mean, when I was like pulling top 8 and stuff, I had they measured me in Zloty. I had a 19 3/8 inch forearm.
Wow.
My left bicep was only 17 inches.
Damn.
Yeah, the difference. So imagine what I do. I can't do a straight bar anymore. My left arm is just. I neglected it for so long. My left arm is just so weak. So do a Smith. Do a Smith machine. Yeah. Do the cable machine. Do whatever you got to do. Because it's only going to make your strong arm stronger because the stronger arm is going to pick up the difference when you do it in something like a Smith machine.
Right.
So whatever your left arm can't handle, or whatever arm it is, right, the strong arm is going to pick up the slack. So what's that going to do? It's just going to make your strong arm stronger.
Yeah, that's
true.
That's true.
So we do all Smith, but Corey doesn't like Smith machine. The position he does some different position with his arms now because he had shoulder problems.
Right.
I can't remember exactly how he does it, but he doesn't splay his elbows out when he benches. He tries to hold them in a little more.
Oh, okay.
And it stopped. He had a shoulder pain. Me, since I got the stem cells, my shoulder's been fine. The only time I had pain is from sitting here for an hour. My God, I get a little pain in my shoulder right now from sitting here. Otherwise, if I'm working out or arm wrestling or whatever, I don't have any more pain. The stem cells are great.
Nice.
So
I do a modified version of a peg deck. So I get one of my thicker bands, and
yep.
we got these pillars outside our backyard on our porch.
Yep.
And so I will put the band around the pillar, and I got my hand inside both of them, and I lean back on the pillar and kind of just go that way with it.
Yep, that'll work.
I add another band if I want to challenge myself and really kind of just. That's the only peg deck I do. It's just like a modified version.
Yeah, pull in a little further. Put your hand this way, and just do it the same way with the same band and pull inward. Just this way.
Gotcha.
That'll help your side pressure too. I do that on the pec deck. I grab the pec and I'll just take it, push it this way. I'll grab the pad, push it this way. I mean, anyone that doesn't do it is not gonna have any side pressure. Right now, my side pressure is fucking shit. So
it'll get there. But like I said, you're still recovering from all the stem cells, and you got to listen to what the doctor says. So you don't want to, get too excited, because then if you're not 100% healed, you go damage it. Now you're further back behind the.
Oh yeah, no, I started lifting by myself, real light, all machines, and I feel great. I mean, I knock on wood, it fixed. So all I got to do is get the strength back. So we'll see. We'll see.
Who's all coming to that tournament in Tennessee? I know that's a big event that LeRae's putting on.
There's I know I think Corey West is going to be there. I think Cody's left. I think Cody's only left-handed. I think Cody's going to be left-handed. Oh, there's a lot of top names coming. I don't know. I probably picked the wrong one to come back at, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. So fuck them.
Stick your toe in the water and see what happens. At least you'll know what you got going on there. But
ain't gonna be the toe. It's gonna be the whole body on that one.
Are you gonna go to any of the Arnold qualifiers?
Probably not.
Right.
I might end up at one. I might end up at one. Yeah, I never know. I'm down to who we still don't know where all the Arnold qualifiers gonna be. But like I said, I don't feel like you should have to qualify.
No, I got you.
Underwood said the same thing we were talking about. Nobody who gives a straight answer on, well, that was the other organization. No, well, that was the Arnold. That was the Arnold. The Arnold Classic gave us the fucking right to come anytime we wanted because we won. They were representing the Arnolds, so you should uphold that. How many guys? It's like you're not going to get a guy that won 20 years ago. He's going to be 80 years old. He ain't going to fucking come. He ain't gonna come. You're gonna maybe 5 guys extra on top of your other 190 guys you got coming. Think it's gonna make a big difference to you? I can't see it.
Like I said, I hope those guys, because I like what they're doing. When are they gonna call you for a match? First of all,
well, they call me they call me every time.
And you decline them or what?
Why?
They
don't pay enough. They don't pay enough for me to go to New Jersey. Let them get the guys. Every time I decline them, BJ Fukakis gets a match. So I'm good. I like watching BJ fight. BJ does good. But
is it more of that, or is it the fact that I've heard that they treat you top notch? Like they treat you like, hey, because SB was telling me, because he went to I think it was the first one.
Yeah.
Or maybe the second one. And he said him and his wife got on the plane, They I don't want to give all the secrets away, but they got there. They greeted them. They had a gift bag or some swag or whatever, and they had itinerary. Here's your hotel card key. Hang out. We're gonna meet here for lunch. It's taken care of. Then after that, there's a meeting, whatever. Then you get to hang out again. We're gonna meet back here for dinner. And and I was talking to Merlene because she went too. I
love Merlene, but she got screwed. She got screwed in her match badly.
She tells me all about it every time, and she wants the rematch, but Elizabeth won't give it to her. So
listen, I watched that match. I was freaking screaming. I was absolutely going. I love Merlene. I've known Merlene since she was like 18 years old, 17 years old. Yeah. Going to the New York arm wrestling. I love Merlene. She's the sweetest girl. I was screaming at that match.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It is what it is.
Whatever happened to the Big Apple Grapple and the King of New York and all that? Whatever happened to that?
Those are the worst referee tournaments in the history of arm wrestling. Absolutely. Listen, if you weren't from New York City, you had to go there with one foul and 1 foot out, standing on 1 foot, with 2 guys pulling on your arm. We used to go, me and Clember used to figure going to that tournament was like training for getting bad referees at National or something. You knew you were fucked. So if you didn't do your absolute best, you weren't winning. I won King of New York 4 times.
Yeah.
And you were so absolutely screwed with the refereeing in that match, in that tournament. You had to be on the button for everything, and you were still getting called for shit. Listen, I did one. I think it was right after Jack bought it. After the other guy sold it off and retired.
Right.
Fucking Zaza. I think he's from Bulgaria or something. Multi-world champion. Multi-world champion at like 190, 195, whatever it is. So I got one of my guys. We got a deaf guy we train with up north. Right. He walks up to the table. Absolute, positively novice. They ain't a pro thing about this dude. He is so friggin' green. He's an amateur. He's like the bottom of the friggin' amateurs. Oh, wow. Who walks up on the other side of the table? Zaza. Oh, I'm head referee. I'm like, what are you doing? Arm wrestling. I'm like, no, you're not. He's like, yeah. Me arm wrestling. Listen, you're a fucking world champion. You're on an amateur. No, I'm an arm wrestler. So listen, for one, you're not arm wrestling on the amateur table. And for 2, you're not arm wrestling my amateur. Get the fuck out of here. He went and told the promoter came up, well, why won't you let him arm wrestle? I said, he's a multi-time world champion. You're going to have him arm wrestling your friggin' novices? But that used to happen all the time.
So if you want table time, just pull the next open class, pull up a class.
I called him on something. And his guy was filming. He's like, I got it on film. I'm like, well, let me see it. We're looking at it going, it shows exactly what I just called you, idiot. They say that and they don't think you're going to look at it. It's like, that's certainly, that used to happen all the time. Top pros would be pulling amateurs in New York. Not on my table. I let one, we're at the Javits Center. He was another a foreign guy that was a world champion that lived in New York. He walks up the table. I let him pull the first. He hurt the kid. He hit him so hard he hurt the kid. Next time he gets up, I'm like, off. You're not pulling amateurs. I yelled out to the table, take him out of the amateurs. You ain't pulling on my table. Well, what do you mean? He ain't pulling. All the referees are leaving. So they took him out. It's like, that's kind of crazy shit. New York, we used to have a great time. Absolute great time. But it was the worst refereeing. Absolute worst. I'm surprised Marlene lost with bad referees because she's got to be so used to it.
Right.
Oh, it was terrible. Terrible.
Well, we got a couple of comments. Ryan Grondin, and this might be a joke. He goes, Jody.
Who's Ryan Grondin?
He said, Jody, Paul Maiden just called you out, talking to me, just called you out for a match at Winter Blast on his show. So I guess Paul Maiden's live, on his own show, called me out.
Is he? Can they understand a word he says? Fucking limey bastard. Hold on 1 second.
Horrible day. Terrible day. I'm going to go work on it.
Okay.
Got my battery out.
Yep. In it.
Keeps it going, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that limey fuck can't. Listen, I stayed. We were in Ireland, right? I stayed. They put all the matches down at the bottom. We're in this little town on Oyster Bay.
Yeah.
They put everybody else down these little townhouses. So Paul Maiden had a house up on the mountain. I had a cottage on the mountain I shared with Mondagas and Jimmy Beach and his wife.
Yeah.
Absolute beautiful. Me and Jimmy sat down and talked, blah, blah, blah. Soon as that motherfucker got near Paul Maiden, it's like those two were talking Japanese or something. They get that friggin' Brit fucking accent, and you can't understand a word coming out their mouths. Like, I had that. We were on a podcast. We come back from downtown, and Paul was on a podcast with the Australian dude. Me and Jimmy Beach come back with the girls.
Right.
And we jumped in on the podcast. I had to have the Australian dude friggin' tell me what they were saying. I kept looking back at him. What the fuck did they say? Oh, they said this. Oh, those guys, they talk like they're friggin' drunken friggin' Brits and from friggin', wherever the frick they're from.
Right.
Oh, my God, it's terrible. Tell them that, you friggin' limey bastard. Type back, you limey bastard. Fucking guy. But I'll tell you, you want to talk about treated well. So Marcus and Paul run Armed Gods. Mark, here's another thing you can't understand. Marcus, holy shit. That's even worse than Paul. But so my wife went with me. So we sent him with the itinerary. So I figured I was gonna get I'll get my money when I get there. Mm-hmm. Calls me back. Where do I send it? Well, where do you send? Where do I send the money? So my wife gave him all the tracking information. He paid for my ticket. He paid for my wife's ticket. It's $1,800. 4 days after 4 days, not even close to being there yet. We get there. We're in a cottage up on the hill. Absolutely gorgeous. He picked up by a limousine. Cottage up on the hill. Paid for that. Well, so I said to him, I called him. I didn't know. I know he was paying for the place. I says, how long are you paying for? Usually pay for the weekend. I said, we're staying for 10 days. I need to know when I got to make reservations. He said, well, how long are you staying? I said, well, no, you don't understand. I said, I just need to know when you're stopping paying so I can pick it up. No. He says, I need to know when you're staying till. Like, yeah, but I need to know when you're stopping. He said, listen. He said, tell me when you're staying till, and I'll book the cottage for the whole week. I was like, you do what? He said, I'll pay for the whole week. I'm like, are you serious? 10 days? This was prime fucking, beautiful place. The view was absolutely phenomenal. Looking over Oyster Bay and the whole town, the castles and stuff. Pay for the whole week.
Because we don't want no Dave Morocco issues.
So then I tell him, hey, we're staying. I'm gonna stay till Saturday. So we're gonna go into Dublin. We're gonna take the train in Dublin.
Yeah.
I said, we're leaving Wednesday morning. Okay, no problem. I get a call from the limo guy. What time are you leaving? I'm like, who's this? He says, it's such a Fred, I think his name was. He says, Fred from the limo. What time are you leaving? I said, well, we're gonna catch a train. We gotta figure out when we catch a train. He said, no. He said, I'll be there to pick you up. But he said, when you leave? I said, sometime in the morning. I'll be there at noontime to pick you up. Pays again for the limo to bring me into fucking into Dublin. To drive me all the way to Dublin. And then that guy brings me a tour of the friggin' all the farms and shit up there.
Right.
Absolutely insane the way they treated us over there. Absolutely insane. I mean, Armed Gods, those boys, if you can drink, that's the place to go. Those boys drink. Let's see.
Right.
I don't drink. Fucking Marcus, I had 8 double shots in 20 minutes after the tournament was over. I was pretty fucked up. I don't drink at all. I had 8 double shots of freaking Jamesons, man. I was pretty hammered. But I wanted to burn freaking which called cut his fucking forehead there. Cut an artery in his forehead.
Oh, Uncle John?
Uncle John. Yeah. So the nurses are working on this like the next day. Hours later, fucking still shooting blood. I said, let's get a spoon and heat that fucking thing up. We'll burn it. And man, everybody's getting mad at me. Oh, you can't do that. Uncle John said, if I'd have heard you, I'd have let you do it. Fuck, I'd have loved to do that. That would have been cool on film,
Nice.
But
we do have a from Archdog. Are you aware of the Ingen Sarah Backman issue?
No.
So I guess so Archdog was like, what do you guys think about Ingen and Sarah Backman? And then his next comment was, I guess Ingen was upset with her husband. They had a tournament the weekend before in Florida, and he took it personal. Like I said, I don't know why Ingen would. I don't get that.
I'll tell you why. The PAL tournament.
But how does that upset him though?
Because he can't have any PAL pullers at it. He's not supposed to have PAL pullers at his show because he's associated with the WAF.
Right.
That's how far they're going. They actually called people that were going to the IFA Nationals and told them they were going to ban them from East versus West. They had a fucking IFA referee fly to the first fucking East versus West. Yeah. He flew all the way to Turkey, and then they wouldn't let him. They had to not let him referee because he's an IFA, and Engen would have got chosen from the WAF.
What? So
Sarah Bachman had her name associated with a PAL tournament. That was Sean's tournament. That's the one I was supposed to go to, that was the one that might have wanted to go to, and then I didn't have to, and then I had to. Excuse me. That was Sean's tournament. PAL USA.
Right.
And that's why they're associated with a PAL tournament. The whole thing didn't start with the IFA. It started with the PAL.
Right. But see,
that's why
is the fact that, in this tournament is like invitation, where Sarah's was more like, hey, come on down, register, and come pull. So I don't understand what the issue. His card is already set. So I don't understand what the issue was. And I don't think Sarah pulled either. So I don't understand. I don't understand it,
PAL. It's like Sarah shouldn't be able to pull. Now, then again, Sarah's on the A list. Sarah shouldn't legally be able to pull East versus West because she pulled an IFA Worlds. If you pull IFA Worlds or an IFA Nationals, you're banned from anything to do with the WAF. And Engin Terzi's a president of the Turkish Association with the WAF. So he's told what he can and can't do.
That's bullshit.
So it is, because those guys are all controlled by these, because the WAF is recognized by their country's government, and they get their fucking orders from their country.
What the hell?
And that's why it all started with the PAL. So the PAL was the first to be banned. So all our referees got banned. So now with the IFA, all the top referees with the IFA are all the best referees in the world. You got the Malaysian, you got some of the Russian referees, all the top referees.
I think Judy pulls for she referees IFA, right? Judy, from Poland.
Oh, Judy was that. Judy, yeah, she was. Well, she's been a PAL referee for years. She's refereed in Poland and Warsaw. Okay. She's refereed PAL from the Zloty Cup for years, so she just went right over with us. She gives the IFA master referees. She gives out the certifications. Her and it's got to. I don't know if it's her and Leonard or her and somebody else.
Right.
Maybe Zill might be one. Her and Zill and Leonard do the master referee. The only reason they changed the rules a few years back. So the only reason I didn't take a master referee is because I got to go to Worlds every year to re-up my certification.
Yeah,
so
that's kind of rough,
It is. So I got a senior. I can't with the top senior, whatever they call the senior certification. I'm PL. I'm master ref for PAL.
Right.
I'm not an international master. I do all most of my refereeing for the PAL and the Tennessee Arm Wrestling Association. I do most of my refereeing for. So.
Gotcha. That's good though. It's sad that you can't compete where you want to compete because all the political stuff.
Bullshit.
Hopefully it goes away, but I don't know. I just don't know.
I don't see it. Well, they'll ban you for doing the IFA, but they won't ban Sarah.
Or Camille didn't Jablonski win the IFA title?
Probably.
Yeah.
Prutnik, Levon, what did you just pull Jerry?
Oh, you're talking about Kradeka, Alex.
Kradeka, yeah, he pulled IFA and PAL. He should be banned. They don't ban him. But somebody like you who hasn't reached the top level yet, you're banned.
Well,
because you're not a big enough draw for them to worry about it. I'm not trying to bust your ball. You're not a big. If you were a top-notch draw, you wouldn't be banned.
Oh yeah, I mean, these are the facts, Tim. So I mean, you're not busting my ball. These are just straight facts. I'm not a well-known as opposed to the other people, so it's all right. It's all right. But yeah, well, I mean, it's unfortunate it happened that way, but you know,
it's ridiculous. I mean, I got Engen when this all first happened. Engen tried to be a friggin' mediator. He tried to get everybody back together, and it just didn't work. You know, and it just he tried. He was probably one of the ones that tried the hardest to get everybody back together because he was friendly on both sides. Yeah, but he's got his restrictions. Either he does what the WAF tells him to do, which is a bunch of bullshit, like taking away people. They took what you know what they told the United States why they took the fucking worlds away from that year?
Why?
Because they wanted them to be. They had to live stream it. Now this is live streaming, right?
Yeah, what we're doing.
So they had it all set up to do something like this. They told them it had to be done on television, on like a major station. That's why they did it. It would have cost them $190,000 or $200,000 to have it done.
All you got to do, if you go on the YouTube channel and go on the World Arm Wrestling Federation, all the worlds are recorded there. How come they couldn't just come to USA and do it from that way? You can do it. I don't know why that was a cop out. You can do that.
Scott McInnes was hired to film all the WAF worlds until he started doing IFA.
Right.
But he used to do all the worlds. He'd have 20 fucking cameras set up. He'd sit there for the weekend and he'd do all the filming. For years he did WAF.
I got this one comment from ArmTalk. He goes, "They got breakdancing in the Olympics, but not arm wrestling." Let me speak on that before I let you go, Tim. I want you to respond to that. So here's my thing, and I'm not saying this is the reason. There's obvious reasons, but it looks like this. Out of all the organizations that we got, there's so many weight classes. So there's one, right? You got to pick a certain weight class and then roll with it. If every organization had the same weight classes, I think it'd be a little bit easier. But, you know, for example, if I pull under Denise and Leonard's events, I was born and raised in their events, right? And they have I'm 235. We'll use my weight, for example. I'm 235. In Denise and Leonard's organization, I'm a heavyweight because I'm in the 242 class. No big deal, right?
Yep.
But if I'm pulling Bill Collins' tournament with the UAL, PAL, or UAL and what's the other one he has? I can't remember. It's the UAL, right? Then I'm a super because his is 233 and over. So that's the difference between one organization and another, because I be in the heavyweight class in this organization, I be in the supers in that organization, even at 235. So to answer, ArmTalk, we got to have the same amount of same weight class across the board, but we don't.
So go back to the banning bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
The year before they got all the banning, they were down to 1 nationals in this country. They all converted over to the same weight class. All the organizations changed their national championships to something else.
Right.
And then they got to do all this banning bullshit where they got 2 worlds. Never mind 2 nationals, 3 nationals. They had 2 worlds, and all the weight class went crazy. They went to the old AAA 231 was super heavy. Everybody went to that, and then fucking WF started their bullshit. So all those 90% of our troubles right now goes back to IRPA when the retards wanted Igor's money.
There you go. Also about
look what Simon did. Simon got voted out, and then disbanded the fucking USAF board. How's that happen?
We still can't even get the results from Corey Miller's bracket. We still can't get the nationals.
What, from nationals? They haven't posted the results yet?
Nope.
Listen, I would love. Me and Richard were talking probably 8 years ago. We were both going to go to USAF nationals and then go to Worlds. We were going to make sure we stayed out of each other's weight classes, and we were both going to compete in the open.
Right.
And just, I'm probably banned, but it never came. Things happened with Richard. He didn't go, and then I found out I was probably banned. I said, I'm not going to fly all the way out there if I'm banned. I'm not on the list, but
right.
I would love to compete one more time in the WAF. I would. I absolutely would love to compete one more time. I might compete IFA. I might go to the IFA Nationals. See, I compete in the Super Bowl guys now. I'm fucking 60. I compete in the Ultra Grandmasters, you know.
Dude, I'm like a year and a half away. By the time Nationals comes around next year, I'll be 1 year away from being Grandmasters, if you can imagine that shit.
How old are you?
48.
So you won't, no, that's just, 48.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
So I'll be 49 in February. So Nationals in April. So I'll be 1 year away from Grandmasters. That's
well, so yeah, but you'll be less than 1 year away because you only got to hit the age on the day of the Worlds. Yeah. So the year after, you don't have to be 50 to compete in the Nationals as a Grandmaster. You have to be 50 by the time Worlds comes up.
Oh, is that how that works?
So it gives you an extra 6 months that you don't have to be the right age.
Yeah.
So I was only 39 when I won I won the USA Nationals.
Right.
But when Worlds came up, I would have been 50. I was 50 by then.
Right.
So it happens.
I can pull I'll pull Masters like one last time. You know, then if I want to pull Grandmasters in 2026, then there you go. You know, so.
Well, I might. Where's the Nationals this year?
It'll be in. They're going to have it again in Dayton, Ohio.
Oh, Grand Place. That Dayton is such a pretty place.
They had 230 some odd entries or whatever.
Really, that's nice. That's good. Why didn't everybody's complaining about that? Why 2030 is good? That's not bad.
But that was IFA's Nationals. The USA Nationals, we don't know because they won't post the results or anything.
Listen, Lucky's a good arm wrestler. She's not a great arm wrestler. She's a good arm wrestler. She had 9 gold medals.
Yeah. From
USAF. So it tells you how many people weren't there. If she got 9 gold medals. Christ, you got to be tired. Good.
I was gonna say, you know, if Lucky, I don't know if she's gonna go to Greece this fall for Worlds, but I know. Well, no, I'm sorry, I take that back because the Nationals she went to, they're not going to Greece. The WAF Worlds is in. That
was WAF. Yeah, it was WAF Worlds.
Okay, yeah. So their Worlds is not Greece. That's IFA. The WAF Worlds is in Moldova.
Oh, there you go. The most crooked. You want to go right through the fucking war zone, right? You realize you know where Moldova is, right?
What's that?
Moldova. You know where Moldova is, right?
It's fucking right in the fucking
It's right above. It's right on the border of fucking Ukraine. It's like you're probably less than 100 miles from Kiev. Excuse me, sorry. And then the other border is Russia. Yeah, this is a place I want to go to. It's like, listen, I'm pissed because I didn't realize that IFA Worlds was in freaking Malaysia last year. Yeah, had I known that, I'd have been on that team. I don't care what I would have had to. I'd have been the water boy to get back to Malaysia. Listen, that's absolutely the fucking one of my favorite places in the world to be. Those people treated you like fucking gold. Right. They brought it. I wish I could show you the picture. They brought us to a school, academy, whatever they called it. There had to be 3,000 kids screaming our names. Wow. 3,000. They all knew who we were. It was fantastic. They brought us everywhere, and every place we went. They have a tournament called the 101 in Borneo, Kutchum. I think the payout for winner was like three or $4 grand. This is put on by the locals.
That's big time right there, man. That's big time.
It was crazy. They wouldn't let me pull. They wouldn't let none of the top 8 guys pull it. It's like, how much?
Oh, wow.
How much? Yeah, we had to be there, but they wouldn't let us pull it. But I'm still thinking about getting a hold of the guy. I'm friends with the guy that runs it, seeing if he'd get me over there for it. I want to go. I'd love to go pull that tournament. I just want to go back to the country. You gotta watch your hookers. Gotta watch your hookers over there, because some of them may always men. Always women. Yeah, I can't watch.
Well,
some of them are pretty men.
Next year, I ain't gonna say nothing because Denise told me, kind of keep it under my hat. So I ain't gonna say about the potential IFA Worlds next year. It's gonna be good, but I really can't say a whole lot. So. Listen,
it better not be in the United States. I may not qualify to stay in the same country. Now might be a good time to stay in the same country. I don't want to leave the country right now. I'm nervous about leaving this country right now.
Oh, I mean, yeah, the way shit's going now, it's like, man, just
I carry a gun everywhere, always and everywhere.
Yeah.
The Turks are threatening the freaking Israelis, and the freaking Iranians threatening Israelis. I fly over all these fucking countries. Everybody's ready to blow everybody else up. I don't want to be in that country when everything starts blowing up. Fuck that.
Let me compete, and let me leave, and then fuck all that.
I'd love to see it in the United States. I think I'm going to go to the IFA World this coming year. I think I'm going to go.
Yeah, I need to get back because I keep saying I got other obligations that kind of, got me going on here and there. It's like, I need to get back there, but for me to do that, I got to go to nationals, which means, damn, I got to not do the Arnold. I got to not do the, the North America. I can't believe North America. They're
why do you got to not do all those?
Well, I mean, they're back to back. So it's like, if I want to make a good showing at nationals in April, I can't be getting blown up and worn out at a Winter Blast or Arnold Classic or at the North Americas in Las Vegas. I got to be very picky about what I do,
Well, pick one of the other ones and then go to nationals.
Yeah, it's hard. Lucky says, when's nationals? I'm like, it's I got the flyer. I had a flyer downstairs. Yeah, it's in Ohio next year in April, April 5th or something like that. But yeah, I gotta get there. I came close when the IFA Worlds came to Orlando, Florida at 2021.
Yeah.
And I made the podium, but now I want to go back because it's gotten bigger since then. So
I don't have a world title for my IFA. I'd love to get one world title for my IFA.
Right.
So Ohio I almost got jacked in I think it was Akron.
Really?
I was going through Akron. Yeah. I was driving out to Minneapolis to get one of my I got livestock dogs.
Yeah.
Big monster dogs. They take care of. They kill coyotes. They're big.
Right.
So I was driving out there to my wife's little fucking Volkswagen, and somehow I pushed no tolls on my fucking GPS, so it brought me through downtown Akron at 1 a.m.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? So I can see the highway off in front, and there's a stoplight. There's white Chevy Astro vans in front of me. No windows in the back. All of a sudden, it stops, and the fucking doors fling open. These two fucking monstrous dudes get out of this thing, and they're ghetto as fuck. And they're looking at me, and they start walking towards me from both sides of the van. I said, "Oh, what the? It's just like the movies. I'm about to get jacked. Shit!" Of course, I got 9mm sitting under the cooler, so I grabbed my pistol, and they just stopped. But halfway to the back of the van, they turned around and got back in the van. They took off. I don't know if they saw me. They didn't think I was. I don't know because I was big or.
They saw that pistol, man. They got the fuck out, man.
Oh, they didn't see the pistol. It was under the cooler still. I had my hand on it. I was like, fuck, I'm going to get jacked. I said, this is going to be like the movies, man. The doors flung open. I said, 1 a.m. I was like, oh, fuck. Wish I had my shotgun. And they got to the back of the van. They both looked at me, and they turned around and got in the car. Back in the van and left. Like, fuck. Akron, Ohio.
God dang,
yeah, 1 a.m.
What's going on? That's LeBron James. That's where he's from. What the hell is going on over
there? I don't know, man. It scared the shit out. Like I said, I was right. It would have been a bad thing. It wouldn't have been a good thing. I wouldn't have got to get my dog the next day, anyways. But wow, it was scary. I think I'm gonna go to IFA. I think you convinced me. I think I'm gonna go to IFA. I'll go to IFA Worlds. I'm probably end up seeing you in that the World Series Arm Wrestle. I'm probably gonna go to that.
Yeah. Touch base. Yeah, we got some.
I'll probably see you there. And I definitely will go to Worlds. I'll see you. I mean, the Nationals, see you there. But holy shit, we've been on for 2 hours.
That was by quick.
By real quick. Work never went by that quick. School never went by that quick. Christ.
We just sit here chatting, man. This is why I like doing this. It's like we're somewhere at a bar having a burger, just talking shop, man. And all of a sudden, damn, 2 hours that went by.
See, now you're talking about food. Ryan Grondin's going to have to go raid the refrigerator again. Tubby
knock at the door.
Tubby fuck. All right, brother. I guess.
Man. Thank you for joining me on the show, man.
No problem. Anytime.
Stories and hearing expertise. So
this is how you got to do it. You can't tell me 2 weeks ahead of time so I forget. You got to tell me like a couple days and keep reminding me. My brain don't work that way no more. I'm getting old.
We'll do it that way. We'll just go ahead and do it that way. And that way, when I have you back on, I'll go a few days in advance going, hey, what about this day? All right, cool.
Yeah. I'm home. 90% of the time I'm home, man. I don't like going anywhere anymore. I don't like people. I stay home. Unless I'm on the weekends doing the tournament, I'm home. I don't go anywhere. I stay home, do my thing here, and that's it.
There you go. Homebody.
All right, brother.
Thanks for joining my show, man. We'll talk soon.
Definitely. See you later, man.
Take care.